Okay, it is day 0. I'm at the Wilmington train station. I'm with my lovely fiance Ashley.
I think it's day -1. Day 0 is the day you start. That's tomorrow.
No, I use a start by one system. So, just waiting for the train. Right now it's about 4:07. It should get here 4:20. Looking forward to it. I am at the base of Amicaloa State Park. Getting ready to start the approach trail for my through hike. As you can see, this is the famous arch and the sign to Springer Mountain, 8.5 miles. Just waiting for the visitor center to open here so I can register my hike, and then I'm going to be on my way. Okay, I have registered and I'm now going to go through the arch. I hear there's lots of stairs. Looking forward to it. So, I'm at the base of the Amicaloa Falls. Gotta climb all the way up there. Lots of stairs. Okay, I'm about halfway up, I believe. There's steps here. Falls are pretty neat. Okay, I made it to the top. Yeah, there's a parking lot here. Wish I'd known that. Anyway, so this is the top of the falls, all the way down there where I started, and all the way down that pool of water down there. This is the visitor center. So, the only thing left to do is do the rest of the approach trail to Springer Mountain. It's about 10:40. Springer Mountain is only about 3.4 miles away. Almost there. So I made it to the top. This is first blaze on the trail. Well, I finally got to hike to 18 in the rain. It's been raining pretty much since the Springer Mountain parking lot to this shelter, which is, I think it's the Stover Creek shelter. I'm not sure, but it's still currently raining a little bit. It might stop. So I've hiked about 11.6 miles here from the arch at Amicaloa Falls. I may set up my tent if it stops raining. Otherwise, I may be staying in a shelter on the my first night on the AT. So it's day number 2 right now. I am climbing Hawk Mountain. Yesterday I stayed in the Stover Creek shelter. Did about 11.8 miles. It's supposed to rain today, I think, sometime. As you can see, it's kind of cool. It's very foggy at the top of this mountain. I'm not really at the top yet, but pretty close. Yeah, so I met a lot of cool people last night at the shelter. I think today's goal is to get to Gooch Gap Shelter. It gets at the 18-mile point. We'll see how I feel then. Yesterday, I decided to stop around 2 o'clock since I've done 11.8. And I didn't want to push myself, even though I felt like I could go further. So, we'll see how I feel today. It's the end of day 2. I stopped at Gooch's Gap Shelter. As you can see, and probably hear, it's raining out. Thankfully, I was able to set up my tent before the rain started. Unfortunately, this rain is supposed to last throughout the night, and I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow too, but we'll see what happens when we get to that point. But I think today I did about 13 miles from Stover Creek Shelter to Gooch's Gap Shelter. So that's about it. It's the start of day 3, March 1st, 2017. Today's plan is to hike to Neal's Gap potentially. However, there is a thunderstorms predicted for around 3 p.m. So I may play it by ear. I'm not going to try to get over Blood Mountain in a thunderstorm, so hopefully the weather forecast is incorrect. Otherwise, I'm going to have to stay at a shelter right before Blood Mountain. The only issue with that is that the 5 mile stretch, it's a 4 or 5 mile stretch around Blood Mountain, requires a bear canister. So I have a Ursack bear bag. So I'm hoping with that they'll be a little bit lenient. I don't know, we'll see. I'll play it by ear. As you can see, today we're hiking in the fog again in the morning. It rained quite a bit last night. I stayed at Gooch Gap Shelter. It's a pretty nice shelter. It's got a covered eating area, which is pretty nice. I kind of like tenting at the shelter, and but during the night, talking with people who are staying at the shelter, which is just pretty nice. Seems like a lot of people congregate at the shelters at night, so I met a lot of really nice people. So I will update you when I get closer to Blood Mountain. So I made it to the top of Blood Mountain. I'm sure this would be a much better view if it wasn't for this thunderstorm coming in. I really need to book it down to beat this. Otherwise, I'm going to be hiking in a thunderstorm, which I do not want to do. See at the bottom, a little bit better of a view from this point. It's pretty neat. So it's day 3 at about 9:30, and the sun is out. I think this is the first time since I started the sun is out, but it has gotten pretty cold and very windy, so I guess it's either rain or cold. I stayed at Blood Mountain Cabins in Neal's Gap last night. I did make it over Blood Mountain and just missed all the thunderstorms, so that was good. Stayed in a bed last night. I feel like it's kind of cheating staying in a bed on day 3, but I didn't really feel like setting up my tent in a thunderstorm, so that was kind of the only option, other than staying in the Mountain Crossings hostel, but I kind of wanted a nicer cabin. Not sure what my goal is today. I might try to do a shorter day. Yesterday was 15 miles. I think it was a bit much early, but I seemed to get through it okay without any injury. Other than I have a pretty big blister on my left foot. Just hiking through that. So that's about it. It's the end of day 4. It's about 3:10 p.m. I found this campsite about a mile or 2 past Low Gap Shelter. A lot of people are staying at Low Gap tonight, so I figured I would hike a little bit further to avoid some of the crowds. So you can see there's a little bit of fire pit. Got my tent set up here. It's a little windy, but it's supposed to be a little bit cold. I'm not too worried. See you tomorrow.